Bay. My question is to the Minister of Children and Youth Services. On Wednesday, December 1st, you attended a reception of First Nations leaders at the Sheraton Hotel. At this reception, you had a discussion with the Grand Chief of Mushkegowuk Tribal Council, Stan Ludit, and he told me that he discussed with you the funding crisis at Pegatano, and you had told him the following, and he put it in a follow-up email to me. She indicated to me that her regional staff were having positive discussions with Ernest Beck and his board, and that's referring to Pegatano. I spoke with Ernest Beck, and this is Chief Stan Ludit, and what the minister is saying is the furthest from the truth. There is no progress, there are still in crisis modes, and layoffs have been issued. Minister, there are two issues here. Why did you tell the Grand Chief one thing when the facts were quite different? And two, what does your actions do to harm the trust First Nations should have in the provincial government?
Wow. Minister.
Thank you very much, Speaker, and I'm very proud to have been able to reach out in many instances and speak to individuals like Stan Ludit and Grand Chief Beardy at such a reception, and we had a lengthy discussion with respect to our government's commitment to make sure that children in the North and children being served by agencies such as Pegatano's interests are looked after. Ongoing discussions continue. At that meeting, Stan actually tried to by telephone contact the ED, because he indicated to me that perhaps his information was a bit different than mine, and I invited him to reach out and give me directly that information if that was the case. I can tell you, Speaker, that ongoing discussions continue with our site, our staff in Moosonee. We look very closely at a number of issues, in particular the issue of outside purchase resources and how we will find our pathway forward to ensure that the children are protected. My commitment remains the same, Speaker. Our Aboriginal children will continue to be protected.
Minister, I'm sorry. I've had the discussion with Ernest Beck this morning. He has had no discussion with your staff or with his board or him in regards to the funding crisis. The only thing that your person is doing is looking at the day-to-day administration of that organization. You are not dealing with the funding crisis, and as a result, kids are at risk. We have an epidemic of suicide on the James Bay. This organization is there in order to care for those kids and to try to do some of the prevention work that needs to be done, and you're not having those discussions with them. So I say it again to you. Why did you tell the minister one thing when the other, where quite frankly the other was true? And what does this do to the relationship between the provincial government and First Nations in this province?
Minister.
Thank you very much, Speaker. And as I've said, we continue to work and examine the issues closely. Examining the cost of outside purchase resources and boarding rates might seem like something that is not relevant to the current situation, but it is precisely relevant. Speaker, we are digging down and reaching a determination as to what is taking place in communities across the North and why are they seeing these challenges. And that is specifically with respect to children's aid societies. Obviously, Speaker, there's a much broader consultation and discussion that needs to take place, and that's exactly the commitment that I have made to Aboriginal communities. Our Commission for Sustainability will be reaching out. We're seeking the advice of experts and individuals right across the province to, for the first time in a very, very long time, Speaker, look at this critical issue. I work shoulder to shoulder with the Minister